Live, I am going to check something. We're going to do a. Okay, stand by. It's coming up. Waiting on it. And there goes my computer now. Forgive that. Let's get rid of the feedback. Okay. It'll be like another minute before it goes finally. So. Yep, we got 30 seconds. I think we got 30 seconds, right? I'll let you know when it's 6 and we're ready to go.
It's 6.
And we're on. Yes, you got it, Alex. And we're on. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Kennedy. Welcome to the Feel Good Show, Case of the Feel Good. Yeah, this is Coffee with Chris edition and Alex Perez. Coffee with Chris and Alex Perez.
Hi, everybody. Nice to see you all.
Woo, yes. Nice to see you too, Alex. It's great to have you on here once again. We were having a good time before the show. Oh, and Luke says hi. How you doing, Luke? Luke Jeffers.
There. I'm on my phone, so I won't be able to. Oh, there's a chat right over here.
Yes.
There we go. I'm on my phone, and I've only used StreamYard on my phone one time.
Gotcha. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So if you have any comments or want to say something in the chat, just sorry, that's my phone. Well, that can wait. Okay, sorry about that. To whoever's texting me, I'll get back to you. But I have a show to do. But I should have shut the phone off. Well, let's do that now.
On silent mode.
Yeah, well, we'll do that then. Yeah, and yeah, that's good. Okay, thank you, Alex. You're very kind. Yes, Alex. So Luke said hi, and we said hi to him. Yeah, so yeah, tell everybody to join the show, Luke, if you can. And Remix is going to join us, I know, and Ronald and everybody else, Michael Tranzillo. Cool, Alex Paris. Look at this. It's Alex Paris, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Chris, again.
My pleasure. Yes, I came up with that catchphrase, cool Alex Paris, because he has some really cool stuff.
I do.
I know. I'm telling you, you should check him out on YouTube. And he's got Instagram, he's got Facebook, he's got everything. He's also has a fandom wiki page that you must check out.
Really?
Yes, they made a wiki fan page about you, and I liked what they wrote. It's good stuff, I promise you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'll have to send it to you. I'm like amazed. Yeah, I've yet to get a wiki fan page about myself, but one of these days I might. I will. I know I will. Because, but see, we're up and coming. We're legends at this, me and Alex. Alex has been doing this for a long time. I've been doing this for a number of years. So we pretty much go a long way back with our podcasting. I like to talk about your podcast. So what got you into YouTube, your podcasts, your game shows, your video game shows, arcade games, racing, what do you call it? You travel to Mariposa in Santa Clara, and your other travel videos. Tell us about everything, how your podcast and how that built you up, if you know what I mean.
We'll start with how I joined YouTube, Chris. How about that?
Yes, sounds good.
So I first discovered YouTube back in 2007 when I was up at Shady Cove, Oregon, where me and my mom went to see my granny and papa, who was still alive at the time, my papa Neg. So I discovered this website called YouTube, and there was just so much cool stuff on YouTube. Like you had all these game show videos, fan game videos of like Zelda, Mario, and all that. So a year and a half after that, I started watching homemade Wheel of Fortune wheels from like Germany 1990, LK 90, you name it. So on November 1st, 2009, I created a YouTube channel called Larry 4009. Larry was just a random name, and so was the numbers. So
gotcha.
Originally, that channel was just going to be showing off my homemade Wheel of Fortune wheels that me and a neighbor made years ago, back in 2009. And then In 2010, I made my first cringiest game. And you know what? That's one of the second cringiest game shows I ever made. It's called Wheel of Pain. You have these
Oh
two kids
wow.
and they get like slapstick pain, not real pain at all. All you just do is spin the wheel and see what happens to another opponent. It was pretty much a brainless game. And then in May, I made another game. It was actually the preceder to Spin for Moon, which was created by our good friend Paul Leclerc, called Wheel of Luck, and it was supposed to be based off the Arizona lottery. So it wasn't until late 2010 I started uploading videos more frequently. It was mostly like game shows, some vlogging videos. I did eventually get gameplay. 2012, I closed that channel down, came back as Larry 4009 Returns before. A year after that, I changed it to Alex Paris. Now, around 2011, I officially debuted at L4GS TV, even though it was founded in 2009, but I didn't officially start calling it until like early 2011.
Gotcha. Yeah, and that's where it took off.
That's correct.
Yes, I remember it vividly. I followed the history of your channel. I was so amazed with the shows you've done since then. Like, you've done the L4GS TV specials that I was very fond of. You've done some pricing games, Tic-Tac-Toe, Joker's Wild, Card Sharks, Pressure Luck, Super Wheel of Fortune, Lucky Numbers, and the California Big Spin videos, which we'll delve into that as time goes along.
That's correct. I did all by
I'm sorry,
myself.
go ahead. You did it all by yourself. That's wonderful. Yeah, yeah, Luke says he's almost done with the Boredom Jokester episode 30 on the worst Christmas special ever, the Christmas tree. If you're wondering what he's doing right now, Alex. And Kathleen, my friend Kathleen from the fitness center I go to, Kathleen Bastion, she says, hi, Chris, and say hi to Alex. And Kathleen, this is about games. This is about my friend Alex podcast and his games videos and his racing videos, actually.
It's pretty much like an interview about me.
Yeah, it's like a conversational interview, pretty much. We're just shooting the breeze. I met him like many years ago when he was doing YouTube videos. I met him on YouTube and I was very amazed. Yeah, so she says, hi, Alex, in your podcast. Yeah. So he says he's got a channel, and yeah. So tell Kathleen and everybody about your channel.
So I mainly run the 25K PRTD, which launched on June 25th, 2021. It was founded on November 1st, 2020. And it was pretty much the same as L4GS TV, but with a different name. Now, I called it the 25 instead of Channel 25. It's pretty much a fictional cable television station. I called it the 25 because I wanted to have a little bit of a cool name to it. I also run, which I still have, which was formerly Larry 4009, and it was formerly the Alex Paris channel. Now it's going to be rebranded as the Determinator, a rookie go-kart racer who is determined to take home the checkered flag at K1 Speed, which will be relaunching January 10th, 2024.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm very excited to watch your racing video. So he does racing too, Kathleen, which I'll send you the link later on, and I'm going to plug the channel name. We're going to plug the channel name once again later on in the show. Yeah, so let's talk about the various game shows you've done, like the L4GS TV special first, and then we'll talk about Lucky Numbers, I guess. Yeah, I would say.
Oh, one of my worst games ever made. I'll get to that in just a bit.
Yes. Did you want to talk about something else first, or what do you want to talk about?
We can talk about my L4GS TV special.
Sounds good. Let's do that then. Yes.
So it was coming up on my 4th anniversary of L4GS TV, and everybody knows I've done Mega Spin, Lucky Numbers, Spin for a Million, all that stuff. So for my anniversary, I decided to do something a little different, similar to what lottery game shows do, like when Illinois celebrated the 25th anniversary of the Illinois Lottery. I decided to do something similar. It's kind of like a lottery show, but it's not. I call it the 4-year anniversary special. You had I believe it was like 4 contestants or 5. I think it was 4. They play these mini games, and then they move on to the final round. And supposedly the prize was $2 million, but it was actually $4 million. It was a little bit of a surprise prize, if you know what I mean.
That's awesome.
Now, let's get into one of my worst game shows I have ever created, Lucky Numbers. And I'm not talking about the Alex Trebek pilot version. I'm talking about a roulette wheel with 36 numbers, 38 technically.
Yes.
So you're rather off buying a lottery ticket and guessing the numbers yourself, and hopefully you win the lotto. A contestant guesses 5 numbers from the roulette field, and you have a roulette wheel right in front of you. You spin it 15 times. You got 3 spins per turn, total of 5 turns, and you hope to get the number, and you get a certain amount of money. For every number you get a certain amount of money, and at the end of the game, you can either double it or keep what you have for red or black. If you get it right, you double your winnings. If you don't, you lose everything. Now, prior towards coming to the show, a contestant already wins a prize, so nobody goes away empty-handed. And the top prize was $100,000, which it's been won a few times, but usually the easy way. I was 17. I'm still young and spry, and I'm still young and spry, but
yes,
my creation was just for that. It had no plot whatsoever. It was one of the most brainless, hardest games I've ever made. Some of the mini games that had no connection. Some of the mini games I had, because I had $100,000 a week at one point. Some of them were Prices Right. Most of them were like Prices Right pricing games. Some of them were not. Some of them were too easy, and just looking back to it, it's like, why the hell did I create this game?
You should be proud of your work, regardless, Alex. I enjoyed it.
I know, Chris, but sometimes you just want to look at it. It's like, oh my god.
Well, I created some ideas, and I feel. Yeah, hey, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you, Alex. I think the connection. I'm sorry. It's the weather in our neighborhoods, folks, for those you wondering. But can you repeat that again, Alex?
I was like, why the hell did I even create this? I mean, I know I should be proud of my work, but when you look back at some of the videos from many years ago, you often wonder, was I like that? I was like, oh my god. Especially the Lucky Numbers part. That was one of the most cringiest videos I've ever watched in my YouTube career. Not the cringiest video I've ever watched outside of my videos, but from my videos, this gets 2 thumbs down.
Wow. Well, you feel that way, Alex, but let me tell you something, Alex. I feel the same way as you with some of my ideas that I created. I'm like, maybe this doesn't make sense at all. Maybe this has no variation or spin to it, but some of them can be reworked. So I've done that, and I've had new formats. I have to show you my portfolio one day.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, like I was talking about Arcade Challenge, that seems to be one of my best things you said, right? And
yeah, your creation, the video game challenge, that's honestly one of the best creations you've ever made.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And yes, I loved your, what do you call it? Your card sharks was one of your greatest works when you filled the void for Jim Perry for card sharks.
Yep, and my recent one before it ended was $1 Million Sharks.
Yes, that was awesome. And then he used the actual deck of cards that were on the actual show, but they were scaled down to like tabletop size, pretty much. Not small, but yeah, definitely. They were still large.
They weren't the real ones. The ones are like 2 by 1, 2 foot by 1 foot.
Although his was 5 by 7. Yeah, the real ones are 2 feet by 1 feet. However, they were shrunk down a bit for the CBS version with Bob Eubanks and Bill Rafferty on the syndicated version, and the ones Alex and me uses for make playing cards, thanks to the kind people over there, are 5 by 7.
Yep. Before that, I used to make them from printerstudio.com, but I switched over to make playingcards.com after I heard the giant size playing cards. And it's a lot better than printerstudio.com.
Cool. Oh, yes, indeed. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So, yeah, Luke wanted to say he has the same thing with his main channel. Some of them were the worst. He thinks some of them were. Oh, if you feel that way, Luke, but I like them. Yeah, but in 2020, second channel. Did you remember his second channel, Alex?
I've seen his second channel, yes.
Yes, Abdub Action. Yeah.
His own money card show.
Yeah, I gotta check them out again. They're pretty cool. The new home of game shows created by him. Pretty cool stuff. Yeah. So, yeah. So I wanted to talk about next the game show I was on. Well, I was on two. The Price is Right, which I didn't fare that well at. But I'm a legend at this other game show that Alex hosted. Was a neighbor to Price is Right. It's Press Your Luck. I knocked out that whammy. I was on a contestant on Alex's game show, just so like he'll be a contestant on mine, hopefully one of these days when I get around to it.
Yeah, and he's talking about Price is Right because that was during my 10th anniversary special
game show marathon. Yeah,
game show showdown. Well, unfortunately, there was only 3 episodes because of an incident. Yeah. Long story short, almost got me in trouble, which also led to the downfall of L4GS TV. But we're not going to talk about that. That's done and over with. We moved.
Forget about that. Yeah.
Right.
Don't let that bother you, Alex. I've dealt with.
That thing doesn't bother me anymore.
I know. I dealt with similar crap myself, so it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
But I knocked out those whammies on Press Your Luck, and I hold that high regard because I felt like a legend on that show. And also, I loved your Super Wheel of Fortune.
Thank you. You know, I've actually had that idea for many, many years, even before YouTube. Back in 2010, I actually used to do home movies on VHS. Yes, I did home movies on VHS back in 2010. So I would take my Wheel for wheel. I would actually have a whiteboard, and I would usually have like my Uncle Brian or my Uncle Damon to play. I'll have my cousins. Mm-hmm. I would do a game of Super Wheel of Fortune. I would have my little camera. Yeah, I would do the camera and the hosting. I was 14. I had a fun time. I still got them around here somewhere. Now, I won't be uploading those to YouTube anytime soon. Not at all. But I will say, looking back into those home movies, they were good times back then.
Absolutely. I did the same exact thing with some friends of mine. We used to play the Price is Right board game from Milton Bradley and some other Wheel of Fortune from Pressman back when I was 14, 15. I mean, 15, I had the 16.
Board game for Endless Games back in 2005.
Me too. That was the best version of them all. The Price is Right.
That was one of the best versions out there.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, so I would look. Yeah, the great thing, the good thing about Super Wheel of Fortune is that it harkened back to the days of 1989, 87, I should say, 1987. Until from when they started from the big bonanza of cash in September of 1987, all the way to before the toss-up started in the fall of 2000. So those were the good old days. We drew numbers to see who start the game. None of that toss-up crap. Just numbers. Draw numbers. That's the way wheels should do it today.
And of course, it was a 4-round game because I have a software that. When you get to the 4th round, the speed up round bells would ring. But
yes.
I did a modification too where I got rid of it. So
gotcha.
The game went quick in the 4th round. There was no need for me to do a speed up round. So that's the reason why on the pilot version, that was the only time you heard the speed up bells, folks.
Awesome. Good to know. That's a little trivia there for you folks that are fans and loyal friends and true of Alex Barrows. Thank you for reminding me of that. Yeah. Good to know. Yeah. So Luke did the same thing with home movies back in the day, but however, he will allow to upload early LJPC BM, that's his channel, videos on his main channel, which is doing great. by the way, which were originally on VHS. Very good, Luke. Awesome. Yeah, VHS was good.
You know, if VHS were to make a comeback, they would have to make a very, very, very strong piece of tape where it hard
Indeed.
loses quality, and they would have to be an 8. You know, back in the 90s, they actually had high definition VHS.
Oh, that was awesome. Yeah, I would love to see that again. Maybe, you never know. Yeah, that would be nice. I would love to see
It was
VHS come
nice.
back.
I had an idea where if I were to make DVDs, they'd be VHS style. But the problem would be is, like, let's say you want to project the DVD to a certain point and you want to watch something different. And if you want to watch it again, you would have to start from the beginning. I didn't think about that problem until later on. But I thought that would be pretty cool if DVDs had something similar like VHS style opening, you know, no menus,
Yes.
nothing of that.
Gotcha. And whenever the film or the show ended, it would automatically go back to the beginning without having to rewind all the way back. It would just instantly take you back without going to the menu. That's a good concept. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. So, yeah, give me 1 second. Where are we at? We talked about this stuff. You're a loyal friend and true of the California Big Spin.
Since I was 5 years old. You know, that was one of the
Yes.
lottery game shows that ever existed in the United States of America. A big old wheel, $3 million up for grabs. 5 dream seats. The perfect lottery show. It's been on for 23 years, from 85 till 2009.
Awesome.
I loved watching the Big Spin on Saturday evenings. It's a shame that the ratings were getting lower in its last years. That's why they canceled it. And
Yeah.
awful Make Me a Millionaire. It was originally going to be a 4-year run, but the ratings were so low that you just scrapped it after season 2.
Yes.
I'd rather be
Indeed.
watching Illinois Instant Riches, was one of the second best lottery game shows out there.
Gotcha. Those were good too. And the Hoosier one was pretty good. Hoosier
That
Riches.
one was good. Who's Your Lottery?
Yes, I love that one too. In New York, there was one where I was originally from. There was one called New York Wired.
I remember watching that. They had
Love that.
there was an episode where a jackpot of 393,000 was won.
Yes, it was originally on WNBC TV Channel 4 New York. And then it moved to Fox Metro Media back then. Then it became Fox 5 later. I think it was Fox 5 by then, right? Yeah.
Back in my day for a Big Spin, by the time I started watching it, from like 1999 to like 04, it was on KPIX Channel 5. It was still on KPIX 5 after the set revamp in November 2003. Then it went to Crown 4 for a year run.
Absolutely.
In our local market, not our local market. Every other market is different in the state of California.
Yeah, because California has many markets. Yes. Same with New York Wired. It would transmit to other, like in upstate New York, it could have been different for all we know. And Westchester too, for that matter.
Although Illinois Instant Riches was the first lottery game show to be televised nationwide, because it was sometimes air on WGN Superstation.
Yeah, I remember WGN. That became a cable station for us. Yeah. And so did,
I'd love to see Buzz create the Buzzer, create like a channel dedicated, or maybe even a block, a full day block, Saturday evening, or the whole Saturday for dedicated to lottery game shows. I mean, if Fremantle could buy Mark Goodson game shows, they could possibly buy Jonathan Goodson produced game shows.
Yeah, well, he's his son at least, so that would be only right to do that. Yeah,
it would. And that, from as far as I know, Jonathan Goodson's still alive.
Yes, indeed. Yep, he is. Yeah. So yeah, the California Big Spin was originally hosted by Chuck Woolery, and then later on in the second season, it was hosted by Jeff Edwards for a while. Then it became hosted by Pat Finn, and I think there were other hosts, right? I don't remember.
Actually, no. First, it was Chuck Woolery. Then you had Jeff Edwards, and then you had Larry. And then later on, you had Mike Alejo joined with Jeff Edwards. And then
Okay.
1995 up until 97, you had Larry Anderson. And then
Gotcha.
yeah, he was all right. And then we get to
Yeah, he was all right.
one of the worst Big Spin hosts ever out there. He had no enthusiasm whatsoever. Think of somebody wins $1 million. He's like, look at that, $1 million. He has
Who
no
is this?
enthusiasm whatsoever. And
Who is this? Pat Finn?
No, Jack Gallagher.
Jack Gallagher. Yeah, I have to see him again. How bad he sucked.
But then Pat Finn, one of the best hosts, he has one, especially
Thank
when
God. Yes.
you won $1 million. He had the right amount of enthusiasm. He was fun too. And of course, he's best known for hosting the cable game show Shop Till You Drop.
Definitely. Yes. Yes. All sounds awesome. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Yep. We're gonna get rid of.
I always like how you know, peace and blessings, everybody.
Yeah, he said peace and blessings. Yeah, Pat Finn. Yeah, I loved Shop Till You Drop, and he did Infinity Productions. Those were good shows, good times back then. Yeah, he was.
When television was still golden.
Yes, and he also done Joker's Wild 90, of course. That was his very first.
Forget about that. I almost forgot about that. And that was that's a good. I'd rather watch that before watching Tic Tac Toe 90.
Yeah, Joker's Wild 90 was the better of the two game shows. And, of course, he done Infinity Productions, and he worked with Aaron Perry on that, our beloved Aaron Perry.
I didn't know he worked with Aaron Perry.
From what I've heard, yeah, I believe that was true. Yeah, of course, they produced infomercials for Jim. And, yeah, I think I read that on one of the sites. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's what I've read. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Gotcha. Well, we have a few more subjects before we just shoot the breeze for the next few minutes. So, how'd you get into racing?
We're gonna go way back again. We're gonna go back to 4 years old when I first watched my first NASCAR race with my mom and dad. So I was out in the room watching TV, and I was watching my first NASCAR. So I don't remember where it was at. I don't remember if it was Daytona or California. That I don't remember. But what I do remember is seeing my favorite driver of all time, which is, you guessed it, Jeff Gordon. I remember watching the cars go really fast on the race course, and like, who's that? Because I really liked his design. Back was the Rainbow Warriors. Like, that's Jeff Gordon. And and that's how I got fascinated with NASCAR, because I loved how fast they go. And sometimes I would see the crashes. And you know what? A funny thing is, there's going to be a little bit of when my mom's favorite driver is Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yes.
If her favorite driver crashes, she'd be like, God damn it. And then my favorite driver would crash. I'd say the same thing too. And mom would be like, Alex.
Exactly.
But yeah, I would almost every weekend when I'm not in school, I would actually watch the NASCAR races with my mom and dad. And then right around when I was 5 years old, I actually still have the NASCAR diecast car. I'd actually get two of them. And when the race would be going, I would actually go around in circles for like a couple laps. And I love playing NASCAR video games.
Me too.
Oh, yeah. My favorite one was NASCAR Thunder 2003.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I would also watch NHRA drag racing. I'd take some cars, go outside in the front, and then when the green light comes on, after the amber lights flash for just like a fraction of a second, I would just take off. I'd always watch a little bit of IndyCar, a little bit of Formula One, and that's how I got into motorsports. I recently got back into it earlier this year, which was March. And that's how I also got into one of my second true hobbies, being a racer, which right now I'm a go-kart racer at K1 Speed.
Very good, Alex. I like that. Yes. So, yeah, when you said Daytona races, you meant the one in Florida, right? Daytona Beach, Florida. Awesome. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Daytona Beach, Florida, yes.
Yes, indeed. Are you familiar with the Indy 500, of course, right?
Yep, in Indianapolis.
Yep. Did you ever visit the Indy 500? Or would you like to one day?
I would love to visit the Indianapolis Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yeah, me too. We'll go together. How's that?
Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, I hope so. And we'll go to the Daytona one too. And I love the
I would
California
love to go to
ones.
the Daytona. You know, I've been my first race event I ever went to was actually at the Southern Oregon Speedway 20 years ago. You got the little sprint cars, the little stock cars, you know, like local dirt racing. You have your heat races, and then you got your B main and then your A main. And that was the only race
Absolutely.
too. And then I went to my first drag race event back in 2009 with the Top Fuel and the Top Fuel funny cars. And let me tell you, when those things go, the whole ground shakes. Your body even shakes too because they're so loud and they go up to 300 miles an hour. But
Pretty cool stuff.
I've yet to go to a NASCAR race. I haven't even
Me
been to an
too.
ARCA race.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm into racing myself. I'm not behind the wheel yet, but I'm interested in it now.
I also been to a Monster Jam event, and that was the first time I also went to my first race event back in 2003, which was my first time going to Oregon.
Absolutely. Yes. My favorite racer at one time was Danica Patrick. I thought she was so cute.
She was a great IndyCar driver, but a horrible NASCAR driver. All she did
Yeah.
was wreck. But she was a good IndyCar driver.
I gotcha. I understand. Yes. Completely understand.
Yes,
Yes.
racing, but you don't just wreck people unless you're at a demolition derby. Like if you're
I
at a
know. Those are
track,
good too.
that's when you can go.
Maybe what was Danica? What were you thinking? Come on. Yeah, come on. But anyway, so in Pennsylvania, where I plan on going to very soon, there's a couple of racing places over there too, and I'm going to catch some races too.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
We used to
So
have a racetrack up in Livermore near Tracy called the Altamont Raceway. It closed down in the late 2000s because this was the racetrack's fault, by the way.
yeah,
There was a guy who had a house that's, I don't know how far away from the racetrack, but the lights, you know, the lights that shine on the track, it was shining like some parts of the house, and I guess he kind of complained. So that's why they closed it down.
yeah, I understand now. Wow. Yeah. So who made your K1 racing suits? I seen you unboxed a few videos of your racing clothing. Your
K1 Race Gear, it's the same company.
Oh,
K1 Speed.
cool.
Yep. So you just go on
Awesome.
K1 Speed. You just go into custom suit. They'll take you to the K1 Race Gear website, and you download a form. You just have somebody measure you. Don't take it to a tailor because they'll often give you inaccurate measurements. Measure yourself. Well, have somebody measure you, send it in, write down what logos you want, and then I'm going to take you over here. And then
Yes,
eventually you'll have a race suit just like this.
I love it. Yeah,
I
this is
love this
awesome.
too. Now I'm not
Reese's.
thank you. Now I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. I just
Gotcha.
put these logos over here because these are the things I like. Like I love Chevys. I love Celsius
Yes.
energy drinks. This is my favorite candy, my favorite
Good.
soda, my favorite sport.
Yeah.
And over here, you'll notice I have the number 25. Now, why do I have the number 25, you may ask? Is it because I like Brian Vickers? Hell no, I don't like Brian Vickers at all. After
Yeah.
what happened in 06 at Talladega. But the
Gotcha.
reason I have the number 25 on there is because if I were to own my own cart and get to one of these gas powered karting series, I could see
Yes.
myself driving the number 25 because I also run the YouTube channel, the 25.
That's why you named it the 25K APR, right?
I just named it the 25 KPR because I wanted something different for GSTV.
Ah, gotcha.
I put the number 25 on the race suit because of the 25 KPR TV.
That's it. I was onto something pretty much.
Almost just had it reversed.
I know. Yeah, now I'm getting it. Now I'm seeing it in front of me. Yes, I was onto something.
So for all those close sanctions because of Brian Vickers,
not so. No, exactly.
The reason why I hate Brian Vickers because it was during, not only because of the wreck that occurred that involved Jimmy Johnson and Dale Earnhardt Jr. I remember watching that race. I was pissed when that happened. Also because he didn't attend any meetings and all that. And everybody was booing at him. And even his crew members, they were throwing water. And then after that, when it was empty, they threw the bottles at him because they didn't like him. That's why I don't like Brian Vickers. I don't like Brian Vickers, and I do not like Dirty Denny Hamlin.
Exactly. Neither do I.
I used to did not like Kyle Busch, but he's matured a bit. So he's
Thank God for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. I'm getting into racing more, so I'm going to watch a couple of videos later today, I think.
Oh, that's cool.
After the show. Yeah, definitely. So your new racing channel on YouTube, we talked about the Demolition Man, right? And it's coming next year.
The Determinator.
I'm sorry, the Determinator. Excuse me. I apologize. I got from the last topic, it got stuck in my head. The Determinator which starts in January, I believe, right?
That is correct.
Awesome.
Instead of creating a YouTube channel again, why not just use my old main channel and just relaunch it as the Determinator? And I did put my name Alex Paris, so that way my OG fans know it's still me and they want to know who I am. And the Determinator YouTube channel is just going to mainly feature K1 speed races like Arrive and Drives, GP challenges. Hopefully, maybe the King of Speed. I don't know, because I heard the attendance was pretty low. We were like the only ones in Santa Clara that really did that. You'll also see maybe some other racing related content, like maybe NASCAR gameplay videos, but mostly you'll just see K1 speed videos over there.
Gotcha. So it's the same channel, it's the same YouTube link, right? The KRP and the Determinator, right?
No. What it used to be Larry 4009 Returns. It's the same Alex Paris channel, but just with a different name.
Gotcha. It's the same, but it's the same link, you said, right? But different name.
It's a different link.
Oh, different link. Okay, gotcha. I'm going to post these so I can promote them for you. So, did you have anything else you want to promote? You want to promote your channels right now if you want to? I think that's all the questions I had. Yeah, go right ahead.
So, if you have not checked out the 25 lately, we are going to be posting the season 11 finale of the Brian and Steve on December 31st, 2023. As for Little Jeremy, maybe a couple more episodes until we get to the season finale, because we're going to be starting up production for season 4 of our game shows, which are Bonzi's Jungle Challenge, which is a parody of Press Your Luck. And we also got Plinko the Game Show. And there was one more. Spin 4 million. I almost blanked out there for a minute.
No problem. I do that all the time.
Those shows are going so strong. Those shows aren't going to be going anywhere anytime soon.
Yes. You got it, man. I'm just promoting your channels on the link in the chat real quick.
Thank you very much, Chris. I appreciate that.
My pleasure. That's what I live to do. Yes.
While you do that, I guess I'll talk about how I
go right ahead. You want to talk about what?
While you were doing that, I was going to briefly talk about why I named myself Terminator.
Go right ahead. I would love to hear it. Yes.
I'm always determined to take home the checkered flag and have at least a good finish. That's why I came up with the name The Determinator.
Cool. I like that. I like your attitude. It's very determined.
The Determinator, not the Terminator. If I called myself the Terminator, now if I was at a local K1, which I am, now if I called myself the Terminator on YouTube with a channel name like that, I could probably get a lawsuit from a company that made Terminator.
Oh, really?
Because that's copyright infringement.
Yeah. Well, it's a different meaning, but we'll see about that. Yeah, Terminator. It's not a bad idea. I know that movie. Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger. I know that movie. Yeah, from the 80s. Yeah. Well, wow. I guess we'll shoot the breeze now because I've asked all my questions for now. So, did you have a good time, Alex?
I sure did have a good time. I want to thank you for bringing me on here, Chris.
It's my pleasure, very much so. Yes, and I'm glad we had a good time finally, and I would love to have you on here again. Did you have anything else you want to say, or is that it for now?
Let me
Yeah, we
think.
will put that cookie down, I guess, Luke.
Oh my goodness. I know that film. That's a really good film.
Yes.
You know, my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger film was Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah,
That's one of my
I remember
favorite. That's one of
now.
the,
Yes.
my opinion, I think that's one of the best Arnold movies out there.
Oh,
I
yeah.
also like Commando too.
That's an awesome movie. Yeah, I'm going to check that one again.
I've heard Kindergarten Cop 2 was horrible.
Yeah. Wasn't as great as the other one. Yeah. Gotcha. Well, how much time do we have left? We have 5 minutes left, I believe. Yeah, I believe we have 5 minutes left. So, yeah, let me get some applause for us. Yeah, let's give some Alex Perez a round of applause. Come on, everybody. If you can hear it. Oh, sorry.
I don't hear it.
I'm sorry. I'll put in the final product. Yeah. Sometimes YouTube messes up, though, but
It's all right, Chris.
I tried.
It's only like a little local podcast. We don't do this as jobs. We just do this for fun. I got a career at Costco. Chris
I
has a
know.
job.
Yes, I have a job at Macy's.
Even though I'll admit this, even though
Yes.
I see myself as a racer, I just do it as a hobby. I got Costco to focus on, but I
Yeah.
still see myself as a racer someday. Heck,
Yeah.
maybe even a game show host. I'm a game
Yeah,
show host and a racer and a traveler.
Mhm. I see myself as a podcaster. I don't like doing YouTube forever. I like doing professional podcasts. But
Takes a
yeah,
lot
one
of
of
talent.
these. I know. One of these days I will get there, though. But currently, I executive produce music videos for the time being, along with Macy's. So I'm happy.
You know, Luke just pointed out something. Acura for 5 years. Well, on December 21st, which is not too far away, I'll be celebrating my 3rd anniversary at Costco.
That's wonderful, Alex. I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. Proud
I'm
of
so
Luke,
proud
too.
that I found one of the best careers I can ever work for. I want to thank my buddy Jim for helping me get that job, aka actually career. It's not a job, it's a career.
It's a career path. Yes. More than a
Yes.
job. It's a career. Yeah, exactly. That's more than a job. Yep.
I'm an
Like
electric
Macy's
pallet
is-
jack driver for Costco in the pallets department. I take pallets out of trucks and I put them into different trucks.
Absolutely. Yes. I've worked at my local mall for 3 years, I have to say.
Well, that's not too bad.
Yeah, so I worked at different stores, including Macy's, Forever 21, and Hollister. So I've done.
I've been to those stores before.
Yeah, those are pretty awesome stores. I'm a shopaholic, in case you don't know, Alex, and a fashionista and a foodie.
I'm not really much of a shopaholic, but I'm more of like I like looking at food videos. I will say that.
Yeah, my favorite kind of food, well, I should say beverage, is coffee, which I drank all of.
Food and beverages are two different things, Chris. My
I
favorite
know.
beverage, besides Pepsi, I do like V8 vegetable juice.
Wonderful. Yeah, that's good, Alex. Yeah, V8 tomato juice. Yeah. Tomato vegetable juice or whatever they
It's got tomato in it. It's got all the vegetables in it.
Pretty awesome deal. Wow, we had such a good time, Alex. I will tell you that right now. We had such an awesome time.
We sure did, Chris, and I want to thank you for inviting me to your podcast.
It's my pleasure as always, forever. Yeah, my pleasure. You got it. And we have to have you again sometime soon, and just let me know.
I'll let you know, Chris.
Yes, Luke says he was bits and pieces of shopaholic, but he also loves travel and doing projects. Just saying, pretty good, Luke. Well, I guess you're gonna go now, Alex, or did you want to stay?
I'm gonna get off here for right now. I want to thank you, Chris, for inviting me here once again, and I hope you all enjoyed the little interview that Chris and I did.
Yes, you got it. I hope you enjoyed our conversation. And Alex, I'll speak to you again later tonight or tomorrow morning.
Okay, Chris, you have a good day now.
Gotta have a good day, and I will see you soon.
See you soon.
Take care.
Take
And
care.
everybody, you got it, Alex, my man. No, my pleasure. You got it. I also want to thank our loyal friends in True, Luke, Kathy, Carlene, Mariana, Ronald, Jason Nadel, who else? Remix Plum, and everybody else that tuned in for Alex Perez, more importantly, Alex Perez, along with myself. I'm just a host, Chris Kennedy. I want to thank you for taking part in this, and we're going to do another podcast very soon. All right, you take care, everybody, and we'll see you again next time. There goes. Okay, we'll see you next time on YouTube, everybody. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you so much. Take care.